So the topic of today is on creativity. And I want to say that this course is a creative endeavor, okay? It did not exist before. And then now it comes and everyone is really enjoying themselves. And me also, I'm enjoying myself. And it comes from the creativity, which is the topic of today. And I remember when I was writing the course curriculum and the course manual, which is a very big 4 or 5 manual. And I remember I just write. Where the knowledge come from, I have no idea. Yeah, it just come through. Yeah, and it's a very wonderful when you are in these creative moments, when you are able to just channel the knowledge, channel something that is within you, that is true and real, and then it serves other people because it resonates with them, because it resonates through. Because if you channel something that is true within you, then it will resonate with other people because we are one. So the idea of yoga is to realize who we are and to realize that in essence, who we are is also what other people are in essence. So we are one. So when we talk about creativity, we talk about that. We talk about how to tune in. Yeah, the word is tuning in. How to tune in yourself, your own true self, not just your emotional mind or your technical mind, but how to tune in your deep self and how to bring whatever that is inside of you and express yourself out and serve others. Okay, so sometimes we do things like writing, or we do many things, but it did not come from our soul. It comes from our mind because we learn it somewhere and we copy it somewhere. Then that's not creative endeavor. Then sometimes it helps, but sometimes it doesn't help because it doesn't resonate from inside of you. Therefore, it will not be able to reach out to other people. Okay, so when we talk about creativity, we talk about expressing your soul. And your soul is always eternal and free and present and real. So when you are able to be creative, then you will be happy. You always will remember the time when you are creative because you feel very light and you don't feel that you are the doer. You don't feel that you make effort. It's not heavy, it's a joy. So that's why we all need to be creative. Every day we need to do a creative thing. Or if your life can be 100% all the time creative, then you are a happy person. So the way how to meet with your soul and to connect to other people in a deep manner and to serve them is to be creative. So to be creative is not just necessarily expressing your feeling, yeah, because expressing your feeling is not necessarily be creative. Yeah, is being emotional and expressing yourself. But that's not what we talk about. Okay? What we talk about is the soul. That means your own true self, your Atman. How to connect with your own true self. And from there, you express yourself. Okay? So you can express yourself many different ways. It depends on your skills, depends on your talents. Some people will express themselves by writing. Some people will express themselves by singing, writing song, writing poetry, by painting, by embroidery, or knitting, or do some creative clothing for other people, or song and dance, okay? Or like Einstein. Einstein is a scientist, and he's very creative. And he say many things that are very special, even though he's a scientist. What he likes to do is to go boating. He go on a boat, on the water. Yeah, and that's how he become creative. So what he say, creativity is intelligence having fun. So when you are doing creative work, you are joyful. Okay, so that's Einstein. And Einstein say also another thing. He say, imagination is more important than knowledge. Yeah, imagination is more important than knowledge. And you know, he's the most intelligent person, and he's a scientist. And yet he say, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand. Why? Imagination embraces the entire world. And all there ever will be to know and understand. Okay? So knowledge refers to what you know now. But imagination embraces all the possibilities that you do not know. So what he's talking about, he's talking about the what we call the superconscious mind that everyone can access. So as you know, there is 3 levels of the mind. There is a subconscious mind, which is the we call the lower mind, or the mind of memories, the mind that has all the experiences that you had before, all the knowledge of the past, all the instinct and emotions of the past. Okay, so creativity cannot come from that. Creativity cannot come from the past. Yeah, you want to be creative because you want to be happy. You want to be joyful. You want to contribute to the world. You want to be in the eternal present. Yeah, you want to touch your soul and the soul of other people. But creativity cannot come from the subconscious mind, the lower mind. So that's why Yoga teaches you ways how to purify your lower mind or your subconscious mind to bring you to the conscious mind. Conscious mind is using intelligence. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it makes mistake because it cannot see all possibilities, like Einstein said. Yeah, it cannot touch everything. That's why it's limited. So there is the third mind, is called the superconscious mind, the intuitive mind. So this is where creativity comes from. It comes from the intuitive mind that is transcending what you know. So in order for you to be creative and to be intuitive, you have to let go a lot of your knowledge of the past. You need to meditate. Okay? So it is said, creativity, somebody say, one of famous poet, she say, you cannot use up creativity. That means that creativity is infinite. Sometimes you feel, oh, you know, I'm not creative. My life is so dry. It's always the same routine. I do the same thing. I feel so dead. I feel so bored. Yeah. So because you are not expressing your soul, at that time you feel so bored. Okay. And if you have some little creativity sometimes, and then you feel like, oh, it's finished. But in reality, it is said, you cannot use up your creativity, but the opposite. The more you use your creativity, the more you have. There's something infinite. That means the more that you find the door to touch your soul and you enter in there, then it's infinite. I mean, it just in that consciousness or that joy, you just, it's like in an ocean. You are an ocean, unlimited. And you are not quite even aware of what you say or what you do. There is no sense of control. Okay? So normally we are afraid of this moment when we don't have control. We want to have control over things because we feel that we are more safe and secure. But control is the opposite of creativity. When you are controlling and when you are following the the old patterns of the mind, then you cannot be creative. That means you are somehow suppress your creativity. So you have to come to a point where you are at the edge of the known, and then you take a lot of courage, because to be creative, you have to let go of what you know, and you have to be on the edge of yourself, and then you have to take a lot of courage in order for you to enter into a new something that you have not known before. Okay, you need to have the courage to let go of the certainty. Yeah, we want to cling on to safety, to certainty because we're afraid of the unknown. Okay? We need to lose our fear to be wrong. Yeah? Because we always want to be right. Yeah? And to be safe, we don't go anywhere, we don't adventure ourselves anywhere that is new. So we look around, we see what people think, what people say, what people do, and we like to conform to what people say, what people do, because at that time we feel safe and secure and accepted, you know. But at that time, you cannot express yourself and your soul, and you are, you know, living, but not to your capacity, to your potential. So therefore, you are not so happy, okay? So you need to have courage to let go of the habitual and the certainty to touch something that is deep within you that want to express itself. And it is said that creativity is contagious. Yeah. So you need to pass it on. I mean, when you become joyful out of the love of life that you have, because creativity gives you the love of life. Yeah. If you're afraid, then you don't love life and you feel very bored and you feel sad. But if you are able to go to the place of freedom, yeah, because you love life, yeah, means you love your own self. Life is your own self-expression, and you love that. So you always want to stay in that space where you feel free. Okay, you are in love with life. Okay, so there is so much energy there when you are in love with life, when you're in love with your own true self, when you are not afraid anymore. There is so much energy there. Okay, so yeah, somebody say you want to pierce the mundane. I mean, you go through the mundane, the worldly reality of objects, of material and of needs. You need to go through this, go beyond it to find the marvelous aspect of life. Yeah, which is to find your spirit. So you need to take risk. Yeah, you need to take risk. You cannot be safe. Yeah, but you need to feel that you have the trust and the faith that what you seek for is real and is comforting you, and it's so it takes some kind of self-confidence. Yeah, if you have self-doubt and lack of self-love, and you have self-doubt, and you don't have the courage to go beyond and to take risk. So you need to have self-confidence to take risk and to not be afraid to make mistake. Okay, so you have to explore this the new territory of yourself, not be afraid to make mistake. Okay, so you have to practice to do something creative every day. Okay, and it is said, again I repeat, you cannot use up your creativity. Yeah, because the more you do, the more you use it, the more you have it. Yeah, so you will not be empty, or you're not going to be on the road that go nowhere. It's not true, because it's all open up again and again. Okay, so you want to share your soul with the world. You want to be present. Okay, you don't want to be isolated. You don't want to feel lonely and sad. And at the same time, you need to understand that to be creative, you need to be alone. You need to accept to be alone. When you are accepting that you are alone, actually, you are not lonely because you have the company of yourself. When you have the company of yourself, then you feel very happy. But it is a habit that we have to not seeking the company of ourselves, but always seeking the company of other people. Yeah. So we need to be curious about ourselves. We need to be curious about life. Okay. Not just only conforming, but be curious, to seek for something. So you become a seeker. You look for something. Yeah. You look for yourself. You look for your soul. You look for these moments of joy. Okay. So it is said that you need to seek for this childlike imagination. You need to seek for the purity. Childlike means a purity. Yeah, like a child. The child is playing. Sometimes the child is playing with some rocks or something for hours. Yeah, for hours you see the child is playing, you know. You don't know how he can do this. He's playing, you know, with this rock, that rock, because he's all the time imagining things. Yeah, when I was in Himalaya, it's my most beautiful time. There is nothing to do. There's no people to talk with. I was alone in the cave there with the Ganga water, the holy river Ganga. And what I was doing, I was talking to the rocks. I was imagining the rock like a lady with the long hair. But in fact, it's just a rock. Yeah, and the rock is talking to me. And I was very happy. Yeah, talking to rocks and looking at things, because there is not much thing to look at. It's not like you go to a shopping center. There's so many things to distract your mind. But here, you have to look outside. There is nothing, but you are actually talking to yourself. You are looking inside. So we are looking for this moment. You want to create this moment where you can do this, where you can be with yourself, talking to yourself, being childlike, being pure, being fresh, playful, with yourself. So you are living this moment of solitude that is pregnant of creativity, because it's not boredom, it's not feeling lonely, feeling that nobody care about you, but in fact it's enjoying yourself. Okay. And it's a solitude is like a refreshment to your soul. So when you feel tired, yeah, then don't go shopping. When you feel tired, then try to find a place in nature where you can rest, yeah, and then you can refresh your soul. You can refresh yourself just by doing nothing, by looking at the leaf, by looking at the wind, by looking at the rock, yeah, and everything become meaningful. So that's how you recharge yourself, yeah. And in this moment, whatever that you have problem, yeah, somehow it is resolved, because these are the creative moments. Yeah, creativity gives you problem solving capacity. When you tune in yourself, you have the capacity to solve problem. Yeah, but normally you get stuck. Sometimes, you know, things are very small and yet we get stuck. We get very heavy. Yeah, we're very sad, very, you know, yeah, stuck. The energy is not flowing. Okay, so we need to get out of there. When you feel that your energy is there, yeah, very, very heavy, very stuck, then you need to get out of there by whatever that your way, how to be creative, by being creative, yeah, by doing something. Last night we were thinking of way, because in the ashram here, we were dividing the group in two, because we have a new group of students coming, and we don't want this new group of people coming to be in contact with the group of staff that is supporting the ashram, because of isolation from COVID purpose, for safety. Yeah. So then we were thinking how to do this. We were thinking, oh, maybe we need to find some t-shirts for the staff that is in the group B that are not supposed to connect with the new people, so that the new people also look at the t-shirt and would not come and talk to the staff. So we separate the group. But then at night, late at night, we don't have t-shirts ready, because all the t-shirts need to be the same color. And we don't have enough t-shirts for everyone, 15 people. And we were thinking what to do. Maybe I need to find the t-shirts, maybe I need to lend them my t-shirt, and thinking. And also then we were thinking, I don't know where that thought come from. Yeah, also then in the nowhere, the thought come from, oh, I can make them wear a handkerchief in the piece of square piece of cloth that you fold it in half, it becomes triangle, and then you hang in your neck. Yeah. So we say, oh, okay, so I can find a cloth and I can cut it. I can make handkerchief, so people can wear different distinctive color, so then other people can know that they are group B and they should not talk to these people. So I have many orange clothing, orange cloth. So then we take the orange cloth and cut into this square piece of paper, piece of cloth, and everyone hang. They are very happy to have a scarf, like a scarf, like this photo, in their neck, because they like the color orange, because the color orange represents the Swami. So now the staff there, they wear the orange scarf, and the other group that are not supposed to wear anything, they get jealous and they say, oh, you know, we want also to have a a scarf, orange color. So these are the creative moment, because it's not, you know, so the necessity make us have to go to the edge of our mind, yeah, and to get out of the known, okay, and to be to find something that would work, and it will be fun and it will be new, yeah. So that is the creative moment. Okay, so you need to have self-confidence, not to have self-doubt, because if you have self-doubt, it creates a lot of anxiety. Yeah, instead of creativity, it's anxiety. And when you are anxious, you are in the lower mind. You are in the basement. You cannot download anything from the heaven. Okay, so you need to get out of the anxiety, and that's why the prime quality is courage. Okay, you need to be courageous. You say to yourself, inside, you say to yourself, everything will be fine. Yeah, because we have always that self-doubt. Okay, I cannot do it. I cannot give that lecture. I don't know what to do. I'm a small person. Yeah, I don't know anything. You know, I'm the most ignorant person. We always say this thing. Yeah, self-loathing. That means self-deprecation or bringing ourselves down or self-sabotage. Yeah, so we always do this, but we need to keep reminding ourselves, no, there is an immense treasure of knowledge, yeah, of joy and peace and happiness within you. I trust that. I have faith in that. Yeah. So the more that we practice that, to get in touch with the self that is alive, that is full of joy, yeah, the more that we practice that, the more that we are courageous and less afraid and less anxious, and be able to meet with challenges in life, yeah, with self-confidence and creativity. We become resourceful. Resourceful means be able to find from within ourselves or from our intuition, yeah, new ways to deal with situation. Yeah, so it's not the old ways of the past sometimes doesn't fit. Yeah, and it makes us anxious because we have tendency to use the old ways, yeah, our low mind, our habitual mind, yeah, to respond to the need of the moment. But life is all the time new. So we have to be able to let go of the past, yeah, and be courageous to face the present, yeah, and with a fresh new way, completely new. Yeah, everything is completely new, and it's fine, and you feel safe, and you feel fine. You are not afraid because you have more and more self-confidence. Okay, so creativity involves complete you. Everything of you is involved in this moment when you are creative. Yeah, that your emotions, your energy, your character, your mind, everything is there. Yeah, so nothing of yours is going to waste. Okay, your body, your mind, your experience, your character, your energy, everything is there, yeah, to support this this moment of being present and being creative. Okay, so somebody say, I worry not about the thing I cannot control. I shift my energy to what I can create. This is so nice sentence. I repeat again. Okay, so usually we worry. I worry not. I do not worry about the things I cannot control. When we meet with things that you cannot control, and we worry, oh, you know, what will happen. Yeah. So I worry not about the things I cannot control. Instead, when things happen that I cannot control, I shift my energy to what I can create. Okay. At that time, you need to be creative. You need to do something that is new, that is fresh. Yeah. And that's something that is coming from yourself. yeah, would shift you, would walk you out of that fear of things that you cannot control. Okay? So the creative process is a process of self-surrender. Self-surrender means letting go of your known self, letting go of your past, letting go of your description of who you are. Yeah? You have to surrender that, let go of that. Let go of control. Okay? Control makes you have an idea of safety, but in fact, it's false safety. Because in reality, you cannot control anything, really. It's all in the hands of God. You cannot control everything and anything. Okay? So you have to surrender. So Bhakti Yoga, or the yoga of devotion, of trusting and of having faith that there is a divine intelligence that takes care of things, will help you to self-surrender. Okay? And then at that time, you can be free and you can play. So it involves that you become vulnerable. So you know what means vulnerability is when you feel very open. Okay? Yeah, you feel very open because you don't know, you don't control. Okay? But when you are in that place of not knowing, being vulnerable, at that time, you can be creative and you can change. So somebody else say, it is like jumping off the cliff. My expression is going out on the limb, like a bird going out on the limb, on the branch, yeah, and perching at the top of the branch there. Okay, going out on the limb or jumping off the cliff. Yeah, that's a feeling that everything that is solid under you is gone. You jump off the cliff into the nowhere. Okay, and you jump off the cliff and then you develop new wings on the way down. Well, that's how creativity is. You jump off the cliff and then you develop new wings. Okay, so you need to think called outside of the box. The capacity to think outside of the box. And how do you do that? You think outside of the box by tuning in within yourself and not tuning into the news or to the society, yeah, but go beyond all this known thing and find solution within yourself, because we are creative being essentially. Yeah, we are spirit essentially. So we are creative being. So the more you are creative, the more you are close to your soul. Okay, so practice meditation. That is the practice to calm your subconscious down, to clean the subconscious mind, to be more and more awake and aware, and to be able to connect with your soul. So that is called meditation. Yeah, so you need to work on meditation more and also open your heart for deep love, and that is how you going to be more creative. Okay, so that's the topic of today. Anybody has any question? Nobody has question? Okay. So when I travel and I come back to the ashram, then I ask the staff, what's the creative new thing that you have? So one person is learning how to knit, another person is learning how to paint, another person learn how to do gardening. So this, I know this is the nice thing. Yeah, they feel good when they are doing that. One question.
How to be creative in teaching classical yoga?
Yeah, of course. Classical yoga, you think classical yoga means old, dead, always the same thing. Wrong. Classical yoga is teaching you to get in touch with your soul. I'm teaching classical yoga and I talk about creativity. Yeah, I'm always creative every day. Yeah, every day new. If I'm not creative, I die. So, you know, even the topic of creativity, where it come from, I have no idea. Yeah, somebody asked me just a few days ago, what is the topic that you want to talk about? I don't know. Creativity. So it come on top of my head. I didn't even know what I'm going to be talking about. So classical yoga, don't think wrongly that classical yoga means old. Yeah, it's follow the tradition and nothing new. You cannot move this way, you cannot move that way, and everything is wrong. When you become creative, it's not true. But you need to follow self-discipline. Classical yoga, self-discipline may help you to overcome your lower mind. Self-discipline is overcoming the emotions that are in the lower mind and the impulses and the egoistic tendencies, and so that you can overcome all this in order for you to be free. Okay, so it's not in order for you to be dead. Classical yoga goal is not to make you become a robot or dead. It's the opposite. It's awaken your potential, make you become yourself, your true self, and make you become free and powerful. Okay. So what else the question there?
Second question.
Second question. Must we create your light out from the mind or is feel in the mind of your own? Nói tiếng Việt đi chị Bảo Thi, chẳng hiểu gì trơn à.
Ở trên có một câu tiếng Việt.
Bảo Thi là ai đâu? Ai là Bảo Thi đâu? Đặt câu hỏi đàng hoàng đi. Đâu nhưng mà chứ đâu. Đặt câu hỏi đi. Tại vì chị viết tiếng Anh mà tôi không hiểu. Đi đâu? Không thấy. Bảo Thi. Hỏi. bật máy lên rồi đặt có phải sự sáng tạo của bạn xuất phát từ tâm trí hoặc là cảm xúc trong tâm trí của mình không ạ? Không phải. Nó đến từ cái chỗ mà nó sâu hơn tâm trí. So she's asking, is the creativity come from your mind or the emotions of the mind? I say no. It comes from the source of the mind and the source of the emotions. The source of the emotions is the love that is in your soul. The source of the mind is the intelligence that is your Satchidananda Atman. And then somebody asked, is creativity coming from your intuition? Yeah, it's more the intuition than the mind. The intuition is still the mind, yeah, but the intuition is connecting directly to the Atman, to Brahman. So it's higher. So you can say it comes from your intuition. It's fine. It's higher than the normal mind and emotion. Okay. So some people say, okay, the people that is right brain, that emotional nature is more creative, yeah, than the people that is left brain. It's not true. Yeah. Right brain people is more intuitive and it's more creative in general, but also right brain people can be completely immersed in the emotions. Then it's not creativity. Yeah. So it need to, the right and the left brain need to come together. And then from there is they call it in the neuroscience, yeah, the science of the brain, they say it's a midline. They call it a midline of the brain. That means in the middle. That means the connection or the integration between the right and the left brain. Okay. So when you try to be creative, you are purifying this idea, the ego idea of yourself, and then you develop the aspect of yourself that is not known, that you are not strong with. Yeah, when you are able to develop that, and then you balance it, yeah, and then you can go into the middle. That means into the aspect of yourself that is beyond your personality. But if you are stuck with your personality, you think your personality is you, yeah, and then you feel safe being yourself, then at that time you are limited. Nothing wrong, but you are just cutting yourself from the joy of your soul. Vậy làm thế nào để biết rằng đó là sáng tạo hay là suy nghĩ của trí thông minh ạ? So when it is when you are creative, then you are not really controlling. Okay, when you are thinking, using your normal intelligence, then you are still thinking this, that, comparing. When the intuition comes, then it usually is direct, yeah, and it's correct. It feels good, and it's connecting with your soul and connecting with other people also. And people feel good also, and you know from inside your mind that somehow it's touching the truth. So somebody asked, Swamiji, for example, I don't know how to paint. Is it because I think like this? Because I did not discover my my skill, my talent. Yeah. Maybe you are best artist, but you don't know because you think that you are not good. So Sometimes you meet with somebody that is very good, and then you feel inspired and it wakes you up from your potential. Something that you think that you don't know, but in fact it wakes you up and then you know. And you have no idea how it comes. Yeah. So sometimes it needs something to wake you up. Okay. But you can try to paint. And then you see that you're stuck. Sometimes you are stuck. You don't know what to do. Yeah. So you need to go and meditate and do yoga. And then eventually you'll be able to do it.
Om Swamiji, can I ask a question?
Okay, who's that?
I'm at the yoga farm. It's Taylor.
Where is
I'm very small. I don't know if you can see me.
very small, you're a tall man.
They shrunk me down to fit me into this screen. Yeah, I resonate with what you're saying about the soul or intuition is direct. It bypasses the mind. And yet there are times where I feel like the mind is like overpowering this. And like I can't feel it, I can't find it, even though I know it would be nourishing for me. And I just wonder if you have, from your own experience, other things, suggestions around.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm like, oh, how do you quiet the mind? It's sort of like a joke.
You need to practice yoga.
Yeah. As I share the question, yoga. I'm like, oh, this is kind of a funny question. But anyways, I'll leave it. Thanks.
Yeah. When you practice yoga, you don't follow your mind. Yoga is a systematic way to control the mind.
I think maybe what I mean is like, if I sit down and I'm like, oh, I know it would feel good to just write some poetry right now, you know, and I have some paper there in a quiet space. And sometimes it just doesn't come, you know, but yeah. That moment, you know.
Yeah, I understand. So then at that time you need to do yoga. You need to go and do asanas and pranayama that will balance your energy. Yeah, that will clean your mind and balance your energy. And then the time that you don't want to do any poetry, and all of a sudden it comes. Because you cannot, this creativity or this fresh mind cannot come under your control. It has to come under God's control. But if you want to do it, then it will not come. So that's why you have to surrender. You have to apply the technique of yoga that is controlling your low mind, purify your mind, and then in the moment that you don't know how, it will come. It would appear and you say, oh, I don't know who's talking. I don't know who's writing. You see?
Yeah, that resonates. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So time is over. Yeah, so thank you for being here. And we see you next time. It will be the same time, okay? Because I'm teaching the other course. I want to change the time, but not possible. So right now, next week will be the same time. Okay? So thank you. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sukamdi Pustivadanam Ubao Kamiva Bandanan Micho Muksya Mamritan Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sukamdi Pustivadanam Ubao Kamiva Bandanan Micho Muksya Mamritan Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sukamdi Pustivadanam Ubao Kamiva Bandanan Micho Muksya Mamritan Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bolo Sadguru Sri Sivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Bolo Sri Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai.